In this house, there's some whores in this house. There's some whores in this house. There's some whores in this house. I said certified freak. 7 days a week. Wet ass P word. Make that pullout game weak. Yeah, you effin' with some wet ass P word. Bring a bucket and a mop for this wet ass P word. Give me everything you've got for this wet ass P word. Beat it up, N word, catch a charge. Extra large and extra hard. Put this P word right in your face. Swipe your nose like a credit card. Hop on top, I wanna ride. I do a kegel while it's inside. Spit in my mouth, look in my eyes. This P word is wet, come take a dive. It continues along these lines. And it gets significantly more vulgar. Like, a lot more vulgar.
Good morning, my beauties and bees. Good to see you, everyone. And yeah, some stylings of DJ Benny Ben with his WAP cover. Very well done, Mr. Shapiro. I used to get my fix of that from Germania streams, but Ger doesn't stream too much anymore, so I don't get to listen to Ben Shapiro rap, unfortunately, but I added it to my intro crawl, so we'll have that on the regular now, along with the Aquaman Ben Shapiro thing. So we got 2 Ben Shapiros on our intro crawl now for our politic thing. It's really just dumb science. As you say, it's politics, but Ben Shapiro is really dumb in science. Same with Michael Knowles. They don't understand science, and they actively try to get their audience to not understand it either. Bizarre. It's a weird hill to die on. Anyway, good morning. It's Saturday. We are live from the Hive. 9:38 a.m. this morning. Got a cup of coffee ready. And we got a great show for you. Last night we had a fun time too. We had Maya's 500 subscriber stream. Someone from my moderators, go ahead and drop a Maya link in the side chat. Make sure everybody's subscribed, because yes, we did the 500 subscriber plus like 1 year anniversary of her going live. So it was a double celebration. Do you like the music? Because I didgeridoo to the fungus interlude. Yeah, that's the didgeridoo one. I was actually talking to Maya about making her something similar to that. Yeah, you can just do that too, Vandalia. Just exclamation point Maya. I forgot about that. Yeah, I'm blonde. I was actually blonde last night. It's just, I guess when you tie this back, it's no longer blonde. I don't know, because I had the lights and stuff going. It's because it's dark in here. At night, but I'm back in my hot blonde mode. If Blessed Bee wants to come look at me, I'm my eye candy back here for you, everybody. I hope you get that shovel, that snow shovel today if you've been snowed in. Goodness gracious, we've been snowed in. I've had a bad week. Had a lot of of health stuff going on. So I'm glad to be here talking to my friends about it, though, because I needed it. And so I appreciate you so much, everybody, for coming in and hanging out too. Both here and like I said last night when we had our panel, because we're a community. We're all linked together. John Hudson doesn't like didgeridoos. Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, and Maya is on Vandalia 19. That's what I was getting to next, Vandalia. Thank you for reminding me. Maya is on Vandalia 1998's channel tonight, or not Maya. Maya's sidekick, Dr. Tapioca Weasel, is on Vandalia 1998 now. Maya was on Vandalia's channel. It's been about 3 weeks ago. Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, Dr. Tap is on Vandalia's tonight, so we'll check that out too. Definitely. All right. What else? We got more housekeeping to go. Yeah, like I said, I've been dealing with I don't know if I had COVID or what, but it was rough. But I think I'm on the uphill swing from it now. I still feel like crap though, so just to let you know. I need to drink more. I need to hydrate more. I'm really bad about not drinking enough water. That's why I put the hydrate command on my thing, but I don't even have a cup of water in here with me. I got a tea though, I guess, but I'm drinking coffee right now. It's early. I need caffeine. I think I need caffeine anyway. So some of the stuff from today is it's a lot of pieces of shows that got pushed back and canceled for other topics, for other breaking news topics. I have the Ouija board thing, which got pushed back because of the Miami Mall alien sightings. So we got that coming up for CryptoCorner. That's been on the back burner since Dr. Tapioca Weasel was here, sitting next to me, and we played the Ouija board. And then we have this Indisneer thing that also got pushed back. I can't remember what it got pushed. It got pushed back for racism. Yeah, I needed to talk about racism last weekend, so this got pushed back. But that's gonna be our bad science, our sci-fails segment. And then there's this article about monkeys that got pushed back because of the new Tyrannosaurus Rex. Or no, one of these got pushed back. Yeah, then there's and then I got a blue babe, the fossil that they made that people got to eat from the steppe bison, and that got pushed back for the new T-Rex. That's right. What did the monkey thing get pushed back? Anyway, this is the pushback episode. These are things that have all been shoved back, so they should be at the boiling point now to break into them. So I'm glad you're all along for the ride, because this is stuff that's had time to steep. Actually, it's had time to steep and maybe allow me to make some alternative decisions on how I'm gonna approach it. All right, so without further yap, I'm going to pop right over to CryptoCorner, and we should be starting like right on time today. All right. I will see you guys over there. Hello again, my beauties and bees, and welcome to another episode of Cryptic Corner, where we explore the unexplained, the supernatural, the paranormal and hidden, the mysterious, the alien, the accursed, and the forbidden. I am your host, Miss Bumblebee, and today we are going to be doing an inside activity because it's been a bit chilly out this week, so inside activities only. We are going to be playing with the old Ouija board. Now, when I was growing up, we had a Ouija board. We got it when I was about, I want to say about 9 or 10. Didn't really get much use out of it. But then I became a teenager. And teenagers like Ouija boards. They like to get scared and have stuff happen that's spooky. So we got into it. We really did. Me and my brother and some of our friends, we were really, really into it. A lot of the other kids from school really wanted us to give them secret information from beyond. So they would have they give us like list of questions to ask the board. We were like we were basically, I mean, we were charlatans, but we didn't realize we were charlatans. So, yeah. Anyway, it was through that though that I got into the ghost hunting and being people started around my little town and everything started associating me with the supernatural, and so I got a bad reputation as like a witch, which is kind of funny because I don't know, I leaned into it though, and I did get into Wicca a little bit when I was a young adult, but I think that was more because of the girl I was with at the time, because she was really into it, so I was just along for the ride. But anyway, so people act like the Ouija board's so dangerous, but you know, it is what it is. It's we never had any real danger. It was just silly stuff. You know, you gonna hook up a Ouija board to a talking piano, Jason Jacoby? Now we'd psych ourselves out. We did think it was saying, at least I did. I did think it was saying the things that it moved to. But I mean, I like the imagery of the Ouija board and stuff. I do like that gothy sort of Victorian spiritualist aesthetic. I think it's pretty and it's cool and it's wicked. But good morning, Demon Board of Doom. Yeah, we are going to be getting into Demon Boards of Doom anyway. But so I'm still into it. Like I had like a Ouija board mouse pad and stuff like that just in the past. Oh my gosh, I need to show you guys my new mouse pad too. When we get to a place where that's convenient, it's going to be. Anyway, so yeah, we played with Ouija boards. We did try to do pendulums. We did. It was on handheld recorders. We did EVPs. We did all the stuff, so I know how it all pans out, right? I know how it all works, and what you're looking for with these things and ghost hunt. So I spent a lot of time ghost hunting, both legally and illegally. When I say illegally, I just mean going on to abandoned properties without permission. I was a rebel of a child. But I really wanted to get in touch with the afterlife. Mostly it was, when I say on properties, it was like graveyards and stuff too, that we would go on to after dark when you're not supposed to be there. So, yeah, that's what we would do. Yeah, parapsychology is fun. Anyway, so I've spent a lot of nights sitting in a dark, cold, abandoned house with a flashlight and a notepad and a tape recorder, and yeah, we'd bring the Ouija board out, things like that. Absolutely, we were into it. But after so many years of doing it, you get kind of jaded because it's all bullshit. At least I think it is. Let's find out if Chills thinks it is, though. That's who we're looking at today. Y'all know Chills. The guy who talks like this. Yeah. So we're going to give... he's got 12 scariest Ouija board videos YouTubers caught on tape. I bet they're on video, or not on tape. I bet they're on digital.
Answers, though, as these YouTubers Ouija boards supposedly turn to the afterlife for answers, though as these YouTubers have found, you may not always like what's waiting to be found on the other side. Number 12. A YouTuber named Stromedy and his friend journey into a maze of tunnels deep underground to conjure the spirit of a girl who supposedly had her life forcibly taken down there long ago. They don't appear to be very serious in the beginning, but their attitude soon changes when they think they've summoned a relatively friendly spirit named Abby. Then roughly 9 minutes into the video, they feel another presence enter, and this happens.
Oh dude, it's doing figure eights again.
What?
Can you stop? Can you please? Yeah.
Holy.
That's freaking.
So there's certain folklore about Ouija boards. The figure eight thing is supposed to be, I guess, now it's supposed to be a part of the folklore. In my day, you do the figure eight to break off the connection. You do the figure eight 3 times, and then you go to goodbye. That's how you would say goodbye. That was the rule that we did. But they act like when it does a figure eight, it's like a demon coming, a sinister spirit.
That's creepy.
I'm gonna ask it.
Whoa!
They briefly consider leaving, but then Kyle volunteers to look through the middle of the pointer instead. Earlier, Abby,
I wanted to see that again.
Whoa!
Yeah, that's
they
cool.
briefly consider.
Holy.
That's freaking.
Creepy.
I'm gonna ask it.
Whoa!
Can you please? Yeah.
Holy.
That's freaking.
Creepy.
I'm gonna ask it.
Whoa!
They briefly consider leaving.
That's freaking.
Creepy.
I'm gonna ask it.
Whoa!
They briefly
I'm sorry I make y'all keep watching this, but
I'm gonna ask it.
whoa!
They
Just
briefly
trying to get an idea of the if there could be it definitely could be a wire on there. It's dark enough, and they're in candlelight, so we can't see anybody in the margins, right? We can't see anybody standing on the outside, or even one of these guys themselves with a proper fulcrum point could do. That's the thing about poltergeist and ghosts pulling things and stuff. Mostly it's pulleys, and it's thin wire on pulleys, and it's an art form. So I appreciate a good one where you can't see the wires. Sometimes you can, and sometimes you can't. Monofilament fishing, yes, Jason Jacoby, absolutely. Like that's what you could use here.
consider leaving, but then Kyle volunteers to look through the middle of the pointer instead. Earlier, Abby said whoever does this will be able to see her true form. Kyle bravely puts the pointer to his eye and
So Monopoly takes too long. Let's see, if a Ouija board can summon spirits, does that mean Monopoly can summon capitalism? Is that why society prefers Monopoly as a board game? It's funny because Monopoly as a product itself has figured out a way to capitalize. Because you can buy Monopoly themed anything, right? You can buy a different pop culture stuff. You got Avengers Monopoly, I used to have Lord of the Rings Monopoly. So that's how they. Yeah, this narrator is Chills. Chills is kind of big. Their Burger King foot lettuce video is what most people think of about where it shows the guy standing barefoot in the lettuce at Burger King. People make up weird rules for Monopoly. Yeah, that's true. Monopoly was invented to teach people that capitalism sucks. Yeah, because by the end of the game, you can't really play anymore. One person has all the money. Everybody's broke. And all the property on the board. Nobody can afford any of the property on the board that the rich person owns. So, the game's over. That's, yeah. I keep beeping on Discord. I can just close Discord. I don't need Discord open while I'm streaming anyway. If I do need it, I'll open it on my phone.
Peers into the unknown.
Ha, you there, bro? Ha. Dude, seriously. Dude.
Let's just go. Let's go back. I know what you mean now.
What did we
Let's
see?
go back.
Did you see her? What'd you see?
Let's go grab the board and let's go.
I think his reaction seems fairly genuine, but let me know if you agree or not. Number 11. Fairly genuine.
Did you see her? What'd you see?
Let's go grab. Let's go. Let's go back.
Would we see something?
Zai and peers into the unknown.
Ha, you there, bro? Ha.
Or to a Zai
there a
and
jump
peers
cut?
into the unknown.
Ha, you there, bro? Ha. Dude, seriously. Dude.
Let's just go. Let's go back. I know what you mean now. Let's go back.
Did you see her? What'd you see?
Let's go grab the board and let's go.
I think his reaction seems fairly genuine, but let me know if you agree or not. Number 11. Beyond this fence lays an abandoned asylum that a YouTuber named TGF Bro and his friends badly want to explore. The inside looks like a tattered mansion on the verge of collapse.
So yeah, that's kind of what I was talking about. Would we like climb fences and abandoned facilities like this? There's an abandoned hospital. Actually, it's not there anymore, but in this town that I live in. You had to go on the back side though, because the front side was facing one of the main streets. Spirits are possible. It's about the right location. You think so, Eddie? I don't know. These people are gonna say that, see us whether they're spirits or not. I don't believe in spirits, but I welcome any arguments. It's because I spent so much time as a paranormal investigator that I don't believe in spirits. Because I've studied so much naturalism, and I think I have a pretty good grasp on biology, and I don't think that that our understanding of modern biology has room for spirits in it, if you get my meaning. No.
Strange noises follow them as they progress deeper into the interior of the asylum.
This is dark. Did you get that on camera?
When they get deep enough, TGF Bro pulls out a Ouija board and begins directing questions to whoever or whatever is near.
If there's anybody there, please move the triangle to yes.
The group hears a loud bang directly behind them, and they all take off.
It sounded more like a rattling to me.
And notice that the third person was banged directly.
He started getting up before it was any sound. Yeah.
The group hears a loud bang directly behind them, and they all take off. I noticed that the third person was off camera though, so maybe that person made the commotion and then acted scared. Then again, old asylums are supposed to be notoriously haunted, so I wouldn't be surprised if the Ouija board really did bring spirits near. Number 10.
So that just sounded like something rattling, but it could have been anybody off camera though. So, of course, some very strange happenings during a candlelit.
YouTuber named Danny Willent9 records some very strange happenings during a candlelit Ouija session. About 6 minutes into the video,
Do not just put loose tea light candles on a shag carpet like that. You're just asking for disaster. Ah! It's triggering me.
The pointer begins going wild, seemingly on its own.
Alphabet.
Oh, did you see the guy's hand there at the end, though?
And it goes through the thing backwards.
Check this
Wild,
out.
seemingly on its own.
Alphabet. And then it goes through the thing backwards.
And
You
wild,
can see the guy at the
seemingly
bottom
on its
is
own.
still
6
trying to
minutes
move it
into
when
the
other guy
video,
when the other guy pins it down, you can see the guy on the bottom is still trying to move it, and his hand like slips off of it because he's trying to move it.
the pointer begins going wild,
Watch,
seemingly
right
on its
there.
own.
Alphabet. And then it goes through the thing.
It's going wild, seemingly on its own.
There.
Alphabet. And then it goes through the thing backwards. It's running.
Bro, it's making a figure 8, bro.
They try to end the session multiple times, but
The figure 8 thing, again, that was never part of the lore when I was into Ouija boards. The figure 8 was how you said goodbye. Figure 8, goodbye. 3 times, and then goodbye. That's how you did it.
apparently each time the spirit refuses to let them, the spirit eventually reveals itself to be named Abigail. They ask it to physically reveal itself a few times, but nothing happens.
The guy on the bottom again, you see that? Watch. He's... And the other guy's... This person up here may be genuine. The person on the top may be genuine on this. The person on the bottom, though. That's why you gotta move it slow, because it gives a giveaway if someone starts trying to go wild with it and somebody else tries to pull off or stop all of a sudden. Then it's a giveaway.
They ask it to physically reveal itself a few times, but nothing happens. So they decide to try and end the session. Abigail,
See what would have happened if you hit one of those tea light candles while you're jacking around and spilled hot wax all over your floor, all over that carpet? Your mom's gonna be so mad. Anyway. Whoa, the spirit burnt the house down. Couldn't have been our negligence, yeah. Nazi Germany had some weird beliefs in the supernatural. They built weird bunkers I'd like to explore. Yeah, seriously, I was looking at that last night too when I was going over stuff to cover in the coming weeks. Because I did a thing on Dieglock, but I haven't done that as a Cryptic Corner episode before. So maybe that's something to do in the future. I don't know. Good morning, Ember.
however, seems to have other plans for them.
It's not letting me push down, bro.
Yeah.
Bro, it's not letting me push down.
What do you mean?
It's not letting me push down to goodbye.
Finally, the force holding back the pointer is released, and they're able to move it over goodbye.
The force holding down the pointer is the guy in the bottom.
I honestly can't tell if Danny was doing this himself or if his spirit was doing this instead, so I'm interested in hearing your thoughts as to the authenticity of
no,
this.
That's proof the guy at the top was not being genuine too, because he was spinning it there.
This instead, so I'm interested in hearing your thoughts as to
You
the
can see
authenticity
Danny was not the one spinning it there. It was the other guy.
of this video. Number 9. Robin Adri is the name of a YouTube channel with an
Now see, when you get more people on it like this, that's when they really get, when you can really spell out anything you want, right? When you get like 5 or 6 people on there, it starts to get a little bit crowded. But when you got between 3 and 5 people, it's great. Usually, and it's fun. You can scare the crap out of them. I used to do this when I was a teenager, like I said. But yeah, people pull a fast one on you. But the reason I know is because I would observe. When I was doing this, we'd have people come over and I could tell when someone was like, yeah, I'm gonna move it to say what I want it to say. Usually it was someone about it was a girl about somebody she liked or something, that she would move it to spell their name. And you could tell. But if you get more than 2 people on there, you couldn't tell. But if it was just 2 people, yeah, you could tell.
interesting Ouija board experiment at 3 a.m.
Is there any spirits out here that would like to contact us?
They try to get the ghost to spell its name, but the session gets off to a bad start after they complain about how slow the ghost is at spelling. This seems
Looks like
to
it's going
aggravate
pretty
the spirit,
fast.
and it asks to speak with Rob's twin brother Steven by spelling its name over and over again. The spirit goes on to profess that it does not have good intentions for his brother Steve.
Do you want to hurt Steven?
Ooh, yeah.
After a while, the Ouija board stops spelling Steven long enough to spell out Zozo instead.
Here we go. It's Zozo. So, is it an irony that it goes from one side of the board to the other, back and forth, from lower, I guess that'd be, would it be the lower left to the lower right, right? It goes like that, like windshield wipers, and it spells out Zozo or Mama, especially Mama, because look how the board's arranged now. Obviously it's Zozo because ZN doesn't work, so the next best thing is to do the, can you see my mouse, to do the O, so it goes from one end to the other, one end to the other, one end to the other. It's not, the reason it's doing that is because that's the easiest thing for it to spell, right? Same with Mama. They'll talk about Mama all the time. M-A, just one side of the board to the other. That's all it's doing. Z-O. Yeah. So, Zozo is a famous demon. Well, actually, maybe we'll watch something on Zozo here. A famous Ouija board demon. And this is why it's famous, because you can spell Zozo with minimal effort on a Ouija board. Same with Mama.
They eventually end the session properly, and even get assured that they will be left alone in the future.
You said that you will not haunt us, right? Thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
But it seems as though Zozo may have been luring them into a false sense of security. As they are leaving, they see a rattlesnake nearby, and it seems to be paying special attention to Steven. Rob and Adri are convinced that Zozo
I see a bug crawling, but I don't think rattlesnakes are demonic. Stop it. Just stop.
was sending them a warning sign in the form of a serpent, but I think this could also just be a coincidence. Let me know what you think.
Yeah. I'm with you on the coincidence, but that snake sure is a cutie. Let me play that again.
Are convinced that Zozo was sending them a warning sign in the form of a serpent, but I think this could also just be a coincidence. Let me know what you think. Number 8. A YouTuber named Chaos Prodigy and his friends gather around a Ouija board deep in the woods late at night. They are completely alone and surrounded by nothing.
Now, I've never heard that you should use a Ouija board in the woods at night either, though, because there wouldn't be any spirits in the forest, right? Unless they were inhuman spirits. Why would you want to? LOL, I hate the way Chill sounds. I think it's funny. What if you hooked an AI up to the planchette? Ooh. There's an idea.
But wilderness as they place their fingers on the pointer and invite any nearby spirits to guide them. Not much happens for a while until they ask if a spirit is around and get a sarcastic no in response. The spirit is in the middle of spelling its name when all of a sudden they are interrupted by something off camera.
What is that?
W?
No, V. The V. What the? What the?
Say goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye.
There's some sort of banging noise in the distance, and that's enough of a reason for them to end the session early.
Did you
This
hear any
video
banging
is
noise?
and that's enough of
Goodbye.
What the?
W?
No, V. The V. What the? What the? The V. What is that?
W?
No, V. The V. What the? What the?
Say goodbye. Goodbye.
What the?
It sounds like it's just a critter.
Say goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye.
There's some sort of banging noise in the distance, and that's enough of a reason for them to end the session early. This video is uncomfortably way too short to tell if they were hearing something paranormal or just some local wildlife. Maybe if they had stuck around for longer, they could have had more questions.
I'm gonna say just some local wildlife because they're in the middle of the woods.
Answered, but at the same time, I can't exactly blame them for leaving as fast as possible. Number 7. Jessie Sims and her friend use a Ouija board only to discover they are surrounded by 3 spirits. She claims to get dizzy and asks if it's a good spirit she's talking to. The spirit gives them a negative response, so Jessie fights her panic and asks,
Where are they at? Like at a park bench?
Is this Zozo?
Zozo.
The pointer stays over no. It's not Zozo after all. Still, they both have a bad feeling, so they decide to ask,
What do you want from us? Shut up.
You, the ghost responds. A short while later, Jessie's nose begins to gush red. Number 6.
So she got a nosebleed. Are they outside though? It looks like they're outside at like a park. Doing a Ouija board. I know we never did that either. It was always had to be someplace where there would be spirit. That was the idea. You go to a hospital or cemetery or abandoned apartment building, places like that, abandoned houses. But yeah, I used to get nosebleeds when I was a kid too. My daughter gets nosebleeds now, especially when it's dry, like when it's really cold out and the heaters are blasting all the time, so it's constantly blowing dry air into the house. She'll get nosebleeds. Park spirits, yeah. Objection, leading the witness. Zozo isn't in my black book. Yeah, so I guess there's a lot of people who haven't heard of Zozo, huh?
Once,
Yeah, we'll
a short while later, Jessie's nose begins to gush red. Number 6. A YouTuber named Hunting the Dead dares to play with a Ouija board inside of his own home. Aside from using the board itself, he also has a ghost hunting device which scans different frequencies for any signs of the paranormal. He begins asking,
They sell lots of crap to people who think that it's going to help them see, it's going to help them see or catch ghosts. EMF readers, they got laser stuff now that people buy. Ghost boxes, different frequency devices.
asking questions out loud, and it isn't long before he gets a fairly clear response.
Is there evil in this home?
The spirit then begins highlighting the same number 3 times in a row.
6.
What's this?
6.
I don't like
Hunting
that.
the Dead soon finds out exactly who
Yeah, the paranormal frequencies. It's got to pick up the paranormal frequencies. It's 9G. They're scaring each other.
the spirit
now.
is and what it wants.
Zozo.
Zozo.
Do you want to attack me?
This is the Zozo Cryptic Corner, my friend. Ring says, when's the Zozo Cryptic Corner? So I'm just saying, we're sitting in it. Yeah.
Whoa. It's on, yes, it went off.
Shortly afterwards, Hunting the Dead begins to feel gravely ill and needs to go to the hospital. Number 5. Ashley Ortega and her friend Corey.
I think those flashing lights might have been part of why he didn't feel very good.
Attack me.
Like this. Look at that. Look how flashing that.
Whoa. It's on, yes, it went off.
Shortly afterwards, Hunting the Dead begins to feel gravely ill and needs to go to the hospital.
Hopefully he got some follows for that, because that's making yourself sick for your art.
Number 5. Ashley Ortega and her friend Corey are making a video about how to play with a Ouija board. Ashley claims to have some bad experiences with the board before and is hesitant about trying it again. But curiosity gets the best of her and they start asking questions. After a while, they think they're communicating with an 84-year-old male spirit who refuses to provide
666G, Mark Reed wins. That's a good one. Yeah, there you go.
much information. It seems to select letters at random or doesn't respond at all, but Ashley knows something is near and starts shaking. It then correctly tells Ashley how old she is and says that it watches her.
I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done.
It watches her.
They continue to ask for more information and get some predictions about Ashley's future. It's impossible to verify if these predictions will come true or not. However, this does happen shortly before they conclude the session.
I want to see this spooky
Your nose is bleeding.
Oh, another nosebleed.
Your nose is bleeding.
Let me know if you've had anything similar happen to your nose while playing with a Ouija board. Number 4. A YouTuber named Maximus and his friends are playing with a Ouija board in the shed. At first, they can't stop goofing around for long enough to take it seriously, but as time goes on, they start to concentrate more on the board and less on making jokes.
Are you there?
Maybe lift your arms up.
Why?
Cause it.
What?
Yo, what?
No, that was you. Is that not you? No.
They laugh wildly to cover up the mounting tension as they
I think the person holding the camera like pushed the table.
realize a ghost might actually be near. Unlike most of the videos, nothing happens for a long time, and the pointer stays completely still. They go back to making sarcastic jokes until another event gives them pause.
Are you standing next to Frank Tilton?
Are you Frank Tilton?
When was he born?
Stop playing. Stop.
Oh my god, no way! That actually like fell.
They are still acting like they don't care very much, but they decide to leave the shed just.
I'm pretty sure because they know that one of them is doing all this stuff. Bigfoot's tracking through the live chat there. Yeah. Stomp, stomp, stomp.
Just in case something is watching them. There's something about this video and their excitedly skeptical reactions that seems very genuine to me. Number 3. A YouTuber named Jeff Saxton is playing with his Ouija board all alone one Friday night. He asks if any spirits are around him and immediately gets a positive response.
I also was my understanding that you could not use one alone was part of the thing about Ouija boards, right? So they won't work if you try to use them alone.
Contemplates quitting but decides he owes it to his viewers to keep going. He's in the middle of asking some routine questions when all of a sudden this happens.
What the... Yo, guys.
Ow! Ow!
What?
His pointer slips away and something knocks over his camera. Jeff Saxton steadies the camera and refocuses it on 3 tiny claw marks, now adorning his right arm. It's hard to say if these are fresh marks or just old scratches from a cat or something like that, so give me your best guess as to whether this video is real or fake. Number 2.
It sounded like it from a cat probably, or maybe a puppy. What if I want to call my dead aunt? By yourself? Nope, you have to have a friend. It's a party line. They only open up party lines. It says all kinds of things when you use it alone. Really? I have never had any luck using it alone. Even when I believed it. Have you heard of the dead internet theory, Al Trucker? Jason is asking. Dead internet theory. Yeah, most of these I think are fake. Zozo or Abigail or Mama.
2. After a full day of hanging out with his friends and joking around, Mikey Mouse decides to get serious and play with a Ouija board in a...
We're not going to talk about the guy in the Yoda cosplay before we move forward, and there's nobody at the scene with the Yoda cosplay, so why did you show us the guy in the Yoda cosplay?
Supposedly haunted tunnel at the local state park.
We're gonna try to contact the spirits that lay here, that live here, and that haunt this area. And
things don't go exactly as planned. He and his crew spend most of the night dodging park rangers, and it's already 5 in the morning by the time they set up. Cars also still drive through this tunnel, so aside from getting busted by rangers, they are also worried about getting run over. What's really weird...
Well, it's 5 a.m., so if anybody goes through the tunnel, they should have their lights on. So you shouldn't get run over.
is how a car comes by literally every time Mikey asks if any spirits are near.
Are there any spirits here that would like to contact us? You hear another car?
Yeah. Are you kidding me?
I think we're good.
Oh, we're chilling.
Why do we keep hearing that?
I don't know.
This happens
because you're in a tunnel and it captures any sound from the surrounding area and funnels it towards you. So yeah, that's why you're hearing stuff and you're picking up lots of sounds.
on about 3 or 4 separate occasions, and I have to admit that the timing is quite odd. Anyway, they are becoming a little frustrated by the suddenly high volume of traffic and decide to ask a question one more time. At the far end of the tunnel comes an unexpected response that leaves them terrified.
I don't understand why we're not getting an answer. I'm getting so nervous.
I keep hearing things.
I hear a car. What the f*** is that? No way.
What? Oh shit. Dude.
They peel
Ooh.
out of the tunnel
That was fucking great. Yeah, there's somebody down there in like a nightgown.
without properly ending the session by pointing over goodbye. This means that whatever they summon was never
Okay. So it's just a figure in white. A woman in white. Ah!
returned to its own realm, or at least that's what happens according to the
Actually, look, there
Ouija
might have been 2
legend.
people.
Either way, let me know if you think Mikey and his friends really did summon a ghost, or if it was just someone they knew wearing a costume. Before we get to
I think it was probably somebody they knew wearing a costume, but...
Number 1, my name is Chills and I hope you're enjoying my narration. If you're curious about what I look like in real life, then go to my Instagram at DylanIsChillinYT and tap that follow button to find out. I'm currently doing a super poll on my Instagram. If you believe ghosts are real, then go to my most recent photo and tap the like button. If you don't, DM me.
He says button. People that live in the out west say it that way. I don't know why.
Saying why. When you're done, come right back to this video to find out the number 1 entry.
If someone wants to come back as a ghost and haunt me to say, hey, ghosts are real, please do.
Chills merch is now available, and I'm gifting viewers who spend over $100 with a 100% free. Number 1. A YouTuber named Jerry Wells and a housemate sit across from each other while playing with a Ouija board. Apparently, they have been experiencing strange paranormal disturbances around the home for some time, and now they're turning to the Ouija board for answers.
Just like they always tell you to do in the scary movies, right? Get a Ouija board if you have disturbances in your house. It's the best way to deal with them. That's how it worked in Paranormal Activity. No, I wouldn't watch this if I didn't like Chill's voice. It makes me laugh. Because it doesn't matter what he's talking about, it's always that same tone. He'd be like, and the fire department didn't find any of the kittens alive. Number 9. He doesn't like have any emotion to it at all. It's crazy.
We're gonna find out what's in this house. I don't know how else to try to contact it. We've got to find out what it wants. I'm gonna see if I can get it to leave us alone.
Look closely and you can see the board quivering unnaturally as they speak.
Or tell us what you want. What it'll take to leave me and my family and our home alone. And never return. We're tired of this. Just tell us what you want.
Jerry Wells asks what it wants, and BLOOD is the reply, followed by a metaphysical reaction.
What do you mean blood? What the hell do you want? Come on now.
Oh my God, Tommy! Ooh, cool. That was
if
good.
This is fake.
Hold on.
If this is fake. If this is fake, then I have. If this is fake, then I have no idea how they.
Figure out which one of them is triggering it, because she does a scoop back before.
What do you mean blood? What the
and
hell do you
then
want?
he does a thing with his hands.
Come on,
so I don't
now.
know which one of those is. I think it's him.
If this is fake, Then I have no idea how they did this. You can clearly see underneath the table the entire time, so it's not magnets.
It's right there.
And I don't see a string either. If you don't believe this is paranormal, then let me know how they managed to make the board shake and jump straight into the air. The legend of Slenderman has many...
It's gonna be pulleys and stuff, yeah, with monofilament fishing line. We're not gonna watch the Slender Man thing, but since there was people who didn't know about Zozo, I am going to pull up that infographic for Zozo, so that we know.
See if it was all just in our heads. For the study, they made up a fictional person named Philip Aylesford and then invited a group of people to run a seance in order to summon his ghost. The group eventually made contact with a friend. Comes over one day and brings a Ouija board with him. You both sit and start to try to contact evil spirits, your skeptical eye watching every move the planchette makes and trying to figure out if your friend's pulling your leg. Suddenly, the planchette starts moving from the letter Z to the letter O over and over again rapidly, and after making its presence known, this spirit starts answering questions about relatives of yours with incredible accuracy. Creeped out, the next day you get curious and Google the name Zozo, only to discover thousands of similar accounts written across various message boards online. Hello and welcome to another special episode of the infographic show's greatest mysteries, the Zozo Demon. You don't have to imagine the preceding scenario, because it has in fact happened to thousands of people around the world. Whether using Ouija boards, automatic writing, or various other spiritual contact techniques, people all around the world have reported contacting an entity calling itself Zozo. With the advent of the internet, people began to share their stories online, each person shocked to discover that hundreds, if not thousands of others had had the same experiences as they did. Possibly more terrifying, though, is the fact that stories about Zozo have been around for hundreds of years.
That's kind of an exaggeration, but Zozo, back and forth, that's where that comes from. Just doing the windshield wiper movement on the Ouija board. It's nothing magical. It just happens to be that those are the 2 points that you go back and forth on, like the windshield wiper. And again, it works for Mama too, just raised up a little bit.
It's one of the oldest accounts, coming from Colin de Plancy's demonic encyclopedia, the Dictionary Infernal. According to de Plancy, a young girl claimed to be constantly harassed by 3 evil spirits, Mimi, Crapule, and Zozo. The demons would torment the girl and force her to walk on her hands or act indecent in the company of others. Eventually, she was exorcised successfully, although the priest performing the rite was warned not to attempt another exorcism by the police. It's easy to discount old tales as mere superstition, or even to discount modern testimony as simply flights of fancy that appropriate old legends or scary stories. It's not so easy, however, to explain the massive amounts of collaborative testimony available.
It is easy to explain. Again, just look at the structure of I don't have a real Ouija board. I just have the Jesus Ouija board. But if you look at the structure of a Ouija board, you just showed it on the screen a minute ago. It's just going back and forth. I don't know how else to make that any more simple for you.
Online, especially from people surprised to discover so many others allegedly having contact with the same entity. Encounters with Zozo tend to go the same way. Contactees will be using a Ouija board or other spirit contact technique, and Zozo will make its presence known by spelling out its name. Typically, it will then answer questions that would be difficult for other people around you to know the answers to in an effort to gain your trust. Other times, it will simply start to spell out expletives. Contact with Zozo typically results in something tragic happening shortly after. One man claims that
getting Freddy Kruegered in the bathtub.
His wife left his daughter in the bathtub and stepped out for a moment, which was long enough for his daughter to begin drowning. After rescuing her, she was struck ill by a mysterious infection days later. Another woman claims that on the same day as her contact with Zozo, she was hit by a drunk driver. People differ on what exactly...
Was the drunk driver named Zozo? Did you check the license and see? Was Zozo the driver? Morning, Nikki.
Exactly Zozo is, but whatever it is, it's clearly got a bad temper. Some say that Zozo is a demon, possibly even the ancient Mesopotamian king of wind demons, Pazuzu. Others believe Zozo is
Pazuzu from the Exorcist movies and the name of the gargoyle from Futurama. Bon nuit. Bon nuit, my friend.
Simply a malevolent entity that appropriated the name because of growing fear around it. Yet others believe that Zozo is not a single entity, but rather a name that various evil or mischievous spirits use to scare us. Knowing how scared we've become of contacting the ill-tempered Zozo, these people think that spirits may simply be having a bit of fun with us by using the name, while more evil spirits appropriate it in order to scare us, and fear, they believe, gives the spirits power. Whatever its origin, some of Zozo's characteristics involve an...
Wait a second, what am I looking at here? Oh, okay. It's like, she's like curled up on the couch looking at the computer. Okay. It's like, wait a minute, what's going on in this image? But, yeah, and the people pass the story on, and other people who get Ouija boards, like, oh, Zozo. Zozo! The Jersey Devil was created for the X-Files. Who's saying that? No way. Jersey Devil was reported in the early 20th century, before the X-Files came on. 2 kids playing with the Ouija board make it spooky or make it spell swears. Yeah, that's kind of the thing. Yeah, spelling out Zozo is a good way to scare your friends, and it's easy to go back and forth like that. Or mama, and you can do it faster because you're going just back and forth.
An attraction to the female sex, preferring contact with women over men. Zozo also seems to be attracted to people with suicidal tendencies, depression, or other psychological disorders.
Oh my goodness, let's do some ableist shit. But first I gotta read Ember's comment because it was a warning about 2020. That's kind of funny. But most Ouija boards have the letters on, or numbers on them too. Why is she naked on the couch? I don't know. Because she's depressed or suicidal, I think it said. Let's see. What's it saying?
The female sex, preferring contact with women over men. Characteristics involve an attraction to the female sex, preferring contact.
She's supposed to be sexy because the Zozo wants to bang her.
With women over men. Zozo also seems to be attracted to people with suicidal tendencies, depression, or other psychological disorders. Researchers claim that these people are more vulnerable to demonic influence.
Azrael, or Azazel. Azazel is the wild... I think Azazel and the Pazuzu are the same spirit, basically, aren't they? That was my understanding of it, but I could be mistaken. Like they have the same root.
Giving a demon more power over them and making it easier to push them to do extreme things such as suicide or hurting or scaring others. Those who claim to have come in contact with Zozo describe sudden and intense feelings of anger, fear, depression, or generally black thoughts as they talk with Zozo. Their encounters are typically followed by seemingly bad luck. Others, though, are more severely affected, with some
Zozo spelled backwards as Oz. Like DJ Ozzy Oz? Oh no!
Claiming to have suffered physical symptoms such as headaches, sleepwalking, and the appearance of marks and bruises on their body. This is all quite terrifying if true. Along with a host of believers, there are just as many skeptics, however, and the preferred tool of contact with Zozo, the Ouija board, itself is fraught with doubts. For starters, it's a game manufactured by a major toy company, and many skeptics have a hard time swallowing the fact that spirits and demons are immediately accessible with a simple board game. There may be some merit to that point, but then again, if the world of spirits and demons is real, then who says they need some special archaic and mysterious method to contact us? But that's hardly the only criticism leveled at the Ouija board. In 1972, psychologists ran an experiment to see if people
because Ouija boards are micro motor movements. What's the word for it? I can't remember.
Could have paranormal spirit contact experiences through nothing more than human will. Basically, they wanted to see if it was all just in our heads. For the study, they made up a fictional person named Philip Aylesford and then invited a group of people to run a seance in order to summon his ghost.
Phenomena. And we'll look at that in a second.
The group eventually made contact with the entity, becoming convinced that they could feel Philip's presence, hearing knocking sounds coming from the table, felt the table physically vibrate, and at one point saw the table tilt up onto 2 legs. All the while, they had no idea that Philip had been completely made up. The story proved just how susceptible we can be to believing in the paranormal with just the smallest amount of prodding. Yet, if the world of spirits and demons is real, what's to say that a mischievous spirit or evil demon didn't simply respond to the seance, knowing full well what was taking place and reveling in the frustration the entire affair would cause when the participants were told there was no such person as the one they claimed to be speaking to? Why would spirits and demons be any different than we are? Basically, why wouldn't a spirit troll a scientific study way back in 1972? Other skeptics point at the ideomotor effect as an explanation for contact with Zozo and other paranormal entities. The ideomotor effect is the subconscious and involuntary movement of muscles, typically to a very small and likely imperceptible degree. This effect has been well documented, most famously by the famed Michael Faraday, who built a device to show how the ideomotor effect was responsible for the table-turning fad that swept supernatural believing London. Today, skeptics claim that Ouija board communications are nothing more than the subconscious mind using the ideomotor effect to push the planchette around.
True. This is a true thing you just said.
And give us the answers we're seeking. Zozo may well be simply a product of our own subconscious, pushing a planchette on a Ouija board, with movements so imperceptible that even we ourselves are fooled into believing a supernatural explanation. Yet that doesn't explain the global internet phenomenon, which has seen thousands of people all—
Yes, it does. The ideomotor movement, moving back and forth on the board from one extreme to the other. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Nikki. I actually I had somebody request that I do the hot blonde today, so here it is.
claiming contact with the exact same entity. Skeptics point out the possibility of a mass psychological trend amongst all these believers, or that potentially every single one of them is simply making up a tall tale. Both answers could be true, but with just as much hard evidence for either of those two answers as there is for Zozo, that being zero.
No, there's zero evidence for demons. There is evidence for people lying. There is evidence for ideomotor effects. So no, they're not the same. They don't have the same truth value. There's no evidence for demons at all. So we can nix that one right away. So remove that from the pool of possible explanations. And we can look at, again, the lying, the psychological phenomena, and the fact that, again, ideomotor movement, making a windshield wiper motion on a Ouija board spells Zozo or Mama, depending on whether you want the top row of letters or the bottom row. So I don't know why I'm the first person to point that out.
There's a special kind of irony that the belief Zozo is not real requires just as much factless faith as the belief that it is. Maybe despite our warnings, you're still interested in contacting the legendary Zozo demon. Or maybe you just want to arm yourself with knowledge to protect yourself from this mysterious entity. Either way, Skillshare's got your back. With classes such as Introduction to Witchcraft or Casting a Sacred Circle, premium membership will give you
I will teach you how to cast a sacred circle for half the price of the Skillshares, okay? I need you all to go out and buy some sacred salt and meet me back here.
Unlimited access to topics that will improve your skills, teach you new ones no matter your interest, and in the process improve your life. The first 1,000 people to sign up by visiting the link in the description.
All right, we're gonna call that there. We're not gonna watch your Skillshare infomercial, but they left way too much possibility open for it being for it being real, right? For Zozo being a real thing, instead of pointing out the very clear examples of the most benign supernatural things. That's why they sell this that's why Milton Bradley sells this, right? It's a toy. It's not something you can really use to communicate with demons. And leaving the possibility open when the explanations are so obvious, it's a little bit, I don't know. I find it a little bit dishonest. I want to just wrap up this episode of Cryptic Corner real quick with a quick readout of just about the ideomotor phenomena. The ideomotor phenomena is a psychological phenomenon wherein a subject makes emotions unconsciously, also called ideomotor response or ideomotor reflex, and abbreviated IMR. It is a concept in hypnosis and psychological research. It is derived from the term ideo, meaning idea or mental representation, and motor, muscular action. The phrase is most commonly used in references to processes whereby a thought or a mental image brings about a seemingly reflexive or automatic muscle reaction, often of a minuscule degree, and potential outside of the awareness of the subject. Potentially outside the awareness of the subject. As in responses to pain, the body sometimes reacts reflexively with an ideomotor effect to ideas alone without the person consciously deciding to take action. The effects of automatic writing, dowsing, facilitated communication, applied kinesiology, and Ouija boards have all been attributed to the phenomena. The associated term ideodynamic response or reflex applies to a wider domain and extends to the description of all bodily reactions, including ideomotor and idiocentric or sensory responses caused in a similar manner to certain ideas. Yeah. The salvation often caused by imagining sucking a lemon which is a secretory response. So yeah, even your saliva glands can be activated by these same neurons in the brain to make your body respond without you consciously doing anything. And it's the same thing you get when you put your hand on a planchet or you hold a pendulum, or if you're dowsing for water dowsing is the thing that people still take seriously to this day. So, anyway, let me catch up with my chat here. See what's going on. If it were a demon, we wouldn't receive email. What? I didn't think witchcraft was a viable skill. Apparently it's on Skillshare, so you can do it. Now I want to play Cyberpunk. Yeah. I think I caught Idiomomo, says Dr. Mordecai. You might go see your physician about that. I need to download the Phantom Liberty after I finish Baldur's Gate. Oh, I'm glad you're having fun with Baldur's Gate, though. Come on, Bree. This is 100% the real deal. Spirits and demons, right? Yeah, infographic says so. Anyway, yeah. So that's been our Cryptic Corner. Do you think Ouija boards are real? Do you think that spirits and ghosts can communicate to us from beyond the dead, or from beyond the grave through these objects? Do you think demons are communicating with children and spelling out Zozo to terrify them in the dead of night in the middle of a traffic tunnel? I don't know. You tell me in the comments down below. But thank you for joining us for Cryptic Corner. Please remember to be kind. Take care, and we will see you next time. Alright, so don't go anywhere. The show's not over. Still got more show to come, I promise. This is just a end for the first segment, which is Cryptic Corner. So don't go anywhere. There's going to be more show to come. We got some sci-fails right around the corner, and I will see you pups over there. Hello once again, my beauties and bees. We are here for another installment of Sci Fails, where somebody fails science on the internet and I have to call them out on it. Today, we're so I've been on a little bit of a binge lately with these terrible anthropology takes from the Robert Suffer crowd. Sometimes I forget that there's other things that I need to be pointing out. And like the video I just played there a minute ago, the Anthropocene extinction event is a thing that's really happening. It's part of this horrid condition we're inflicting upon the planet that we share. Yeah, so there's facets to this stuff, though. So many facets. It goes so deep and people don't want to talk about it. But you know what? We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about some climate change here. The end is near. What is found after the Euphrates dried up shocked scientists. Nature discovery. Let's see what this channel's all about. The Feast of the Tabernacle just happened. Oh my. Cave under the Euphrates has been sealed up, but this is what they found. This was 2 days ago. Oh, they have all kinds of woo-woo videos. Look at that. The discovery that shocked everyone. If a diver didn't capture this, no one would believe it. You got tsunamis for my tsunami. Yeah, you got Israel stuff. You've got forbidden archaeology. It's a lot of woo and nonsense, and they have mixed in with bad war takes as well. It looks like army of angels appears in the sky, grant victory for Israel. Holy shit, look at that. This is the kind of stuff that these people put out there. But today, we're going to be looking at their end is nigh video about the Euphrates drying up. We might watch the cave one too if we have time. We'll see what happens.
Syria's longest river has receded, parching trees and leaving families of local farmers without water to drink.
The mysterious drying of the Euphrates River perplexes scientists and communities living along its banks.
Does it, though? I'm pretty sure we know it's, climate change. Climate change bad.
People who rely on it for survival are increasingly facing a dangerous situation. The dwindling water of the Euphrates has also sparked speculations about apocalyptic prophecies in the Bible. As water levels plummet, geopolitical tensions are also likely to rise due to...
What does Black Lives Matter have to do with the Euphrates drying up? Stop the hate in Black Lives Matter or the Euphrates. Which do you choose? What is this? The true dichotomy here. Do we choose biblical apocalypse or Black Lives Matter, guys? What do we do?
Due to the potential displacement of communities. There is an urgent need to get to the root of the disappearing river. Is this a consequence of a climatic anomaly or a sign of the end time?
Not a climatic anomaly. It's a very predicted climatic event called the Anthropocene extinction event that I was just talking about a minute ago. Oh, what'd I do that for? I didn't mean to do that. There we go.
And we reverse the impending water crisis. Join us as we unravel the mysteries. The Euphrates River is defying scientific understanding. The situation is dire in the Middle East, particularly in Iraq and Syria, where communities along the Euphrates banks traditionally rely on it for agriculture, and other life endeavors have experienced a shocking decline, raising concerns about drought and potential consequences.
Here, the level water before 1 year, 2 meters.
2 meters?
Yeah.
That's about 6 feet high. Wow. And now this is just totally dead?
However, this is not an isolated case. For instance, in Venice, Italy, authorities are alarmed about deficient water levels that threaten the city's famed canals. Environmentalists have also expressed fear that the dwindling water supply may affect the traditional gondolas and disrupt the ecosystem. Similarly, in France, communities have experienced unusually long periods of drought, so the water crisis seems to be a global phenomenon.
Yes, that's the way they write it. Climate change is a global phenomenon, right? It's affecting everybody. We're all experiencing it. That's why we didn't have cold weather in the upper Midwest. Like really, like we had mild weather until mid-January, when we get suddenly drops down to 27 degrees below zero for 3 days, and then snows for a couple weeks, and then it's going to be like in the 60s again next week. So this is the kind of stuff we deal with. We get summers where it's hot, blazing hot. Every day in August is a new record where I live. Every day for the last couple of years. Every year has been the hottest year on record. What are you talking about? Yeah, obviously, it's a global phenomenon.
This has generated a lot of fear because of biblical references to pervasive drafts towards the end of the world. However, some experts have blamed changing weather patterns triggered by climate change. Therefore, from a scientific point of view,
the only real experts, none of the experts are saying, well, maybe this is a biblical event. That's not a thing that's happening.
this is a normal environmental reaction to unsustainable practices. However, to people who prefer biblical meanings to scientific explanations, humanity might be witnessing our last days on Earth.
It doesn't matter if you prefer biblical prophecy. Science is real, biblical prophecy is not. It's never panned out. So, can someone name a biblical prediction? This is the message that I see someone mentioned Lauren Bolbert in the side chat there. Jason Jacoby did. Yeah, exactly. She's the type of person who's like, oh, if this is happening, it's just biblical prophecy. It's just end times, and they want it to happen.
True could that be? What are the causes of the dwindling water levels?
You already answered that. It's climate change.
Rather than channel our energy on sensational claims, let us look at the underlying causes of these water shortages. It is essential to state that the scientific world has been conducting a round-the-clock investigation into probable culprits for the dwindling water supply. Some believe that changes in precipitation patterns, unsustainable water management practices, and global warming are crucial to understanding water drought.
When it comes to the Euphrates Basin, it's thousands of years of poor management, though. You got to understand that, and it's not their fault. That's the Euphrates Basin. The Tigris and the Euphrates is where we learned how to agriculture. So, yeah, it's like your first drawing pad, right? It's the valley is wrecked, but yeah, there's increased damming for hydroelectric that's causing the water shortage. There is definitely climate change. The way that the water's being managed as well is a problem. Same thing with things in the western United States in some areas, the way that the water's being managed.
This approach seems more objective to some people than doomsday predictions, linking the water shortages to the impending destruction of the world. Dr. Pranjal Kumar Pukan, a supply chain and operations management expert, argues that by supporting research...
Now, there's canals and gondolas in cities along the Euphrates too, Steph. Venice is famous for its gondolas, but there's other cities along Mediterranean cities and cities along the rivers that have gondolas. Yeah, I don't dig AI either, but I gotta address this message, Jason.
Implementing sustainable water management strategies and promoting responsible use of resources, the world can navigate these challenges and build a more resilient future for all of humanity. Of particular concern is the fate of the Euphrates. Having served as the cradle of human civilization for millennia, experts now warn that the Euphrates face an uncertain future. The reason for this is simple. The once lively Euphrates River has dwindled into a shadow of its former glory. Some experts have painted a darker picture by claiming that the Euphrates could run dry by 2040, while some estimates place it much closer. Because the situation of the rich did not improve in 2023, millions of Iraqis and Syrians who rely on the river have been left in extreme distress.
Right, because people are stealing their water upriver, and climate change is making it hard enough for farmers to grow crops and stuff right now. So you don't have to have a biblical, it doesn't have to be a biblical event.
The signs of the looming danger are everywhere. For instance, the volume of water flowing through the Euphrates has plummeted to nearly half its average during dry seasons. The iconic Euphrates Dam, once holding approximately 14 billion cubic meters of water, now holds approximately 10 billion cubic meters, a 75% loss that exposes the stark reality of rapid depletion. The drying of the Euphrates is not just a hydrological crisis. It is an existential crisis that has left scientists scrambling to map the shifting landscapes and chart the retreat path of the water. Poor settlements along the bank of the river continue to grapple with the economic and social fallout, while some people continue to express spiritual anxieties.
I mean, the Mississippi's looking pretty icky and drained these days too. It floods every now and then though. Every few years it'll flood out, but yeah, for the most part, that's got a lot less volume than it used to.
The latter set claims all these suggest the beginning of the fulfillment of ancient prophecies. Experts have also voiced concern that the consequences would be highly dire if the Euphrates ran dry, particularly in Iraq. Agriculture.
Yeah, particularly for the people who live there. I don't disagree with you, friend. Yeah, that's the way it goes.
The region's lifeblood would halt, while livestock, another critical economic lifeline, would face similar devastation. Other industries dependent on water would also stop, affecting jobs, livelihoods, and production, and perpetuating poverty and mass displacement in those regions. The likelihood of disease outbreaks, civil unrest, and a surge of refugees fleeing to neighboring countries.
I wonder what the soil's like in the Euphrates Valley, because I would expect that it would be like really have all the nitrogen just sucked out of it. We've been farming there for thousands of years. I don't think we've been farming anywhere as long as we've been farming in that river valley. So, I mean, it used to be the Middle East, there's a reason why it's the cradle of humankind. It used to be such a vibrant, lush place. That's where a lot of our Western crops come from. All the wheats and oats and all that come from the Syria area. There used to be a lot of animal diversity there too. There used to be like where the animals from 3 continents kind of came and met. There was ostriches and elephants and bears and tigers and cheetahs and lions and leopards and just all sorts camels, all sorts of megafauna, all living together from 3 different continents. Buffalo, it was a melting pot, and then of course we flourished there as a species, and now thousands of years later, it's still suffering from the echoes of that agricultural bloom where we learned how to grow food. Where we learned how to farm, at least in the old world. I know there's also Mesoamerica, where they learned how to farm in North America. That's corn and squash and beans and stuff.
Like Turkey and Iran adds another layer of complexity to the looming crisis. Geopolitical analysts believe that the drying up of the Euphrates could also trigger escalation in the Middle East and lead to devastating consequences. Imagine a scenario where the burden of a growing
I believe that.
refugee crisis pushes Iran to take a desperate measure, collaborating with Iraq to attack Turkish dams and unleash the water held there. While this action may help to alleviate internal pressure, it would trigger a wider regional conflict. Remember, too, that Turkey is a NATO member. As such, Turkey would instantly retaliate with the help of its allies. There is a legal obligation for the United States and other European NATO allies to defend Turkey, potentially escalating the conflict into a full-blown global war against Iran and Iraq. The implications of such a scenario are too bad to imagine. The immediate impact would be felt in the directly affected country.
Well, there does need to be better water management legislation. I definitely agree there. Yeah, to be fair, Mesoamericans did rotating and slash and burn. Probably not from the beginning though. I mean, they did crop rotation in the Mesoamerican and in the Mesopotamian region too. But they, after thousands of years of not doing it because they didn't know how. I mean, I don't know. Everybody had to learn somewhere, right? There had to be a testing ground. I don't know why. Mesoamerica though is like a lot more tropical than. I don't know though. I guess it's on the edge of where there's desert to the north and jungle to the south. It's kind of Mesoamerica, right? Now, the Mesopotamia was pretty lush in of itself, and it did have a desert it had a desert to the south, and then like more of a forested region to the north, though, in prehistoric times, if I recall correctly.
With widespread destruction, displacement, and loss of life. However, the ripple effects would extend far beyond, potentially destabilizing the entire region and impacting the global economy and supply chain. Therefore, it is imperative to address the issues that could trigger this doomsday scenario by addressing the growing water crisis. To address the drying up of the Euphrates River, scientists have argued for sustainable water resource management and implementing advanced technologies such as satellite monitoring and hydrological modeling to enhance real-time data collection for informed decision-making. Additionally, some experts have recommended reforestation in the watershed of the river to aid
Exactly, it could aid, in maintaining the banks and decreasing erosion.
in natural water retention and prevent excessive runoff. Constructing efficient water storage infrastructure.
That's what I was saying about just the whole system can be overhauled. We can fix this. There's a lot of we can't fix climate change in one day, but we can fix river systems, right? River systems require but they require trees on the bank to hold the bank together. That's how that works. Otherwise, you just get continuous erosion, and if it gets rapine, it's gonna go everywhere, right? And the banks won't hold it. We need to do better water management in general, but definitely planting more trees and doing more wetland reservoirs as opposed to lake reservoirs will be good. Wetlands help to filter the nutrients out of the water and add nutrients into the water from, it's like a tea.
And regulating dam operations has also been put forward to mitigate the impact of droughts. Collaborative efforts among riparian countries for equitable water sharing agreements, combined with community-based water conservation initiatives, can contribute to a collective approach. What do the scriptures say about the Euphrates? The receding waters of the Euphrates River also depict the mystery of the angel depicted in the Book of Revelation. Witnessing the blare of the sixth angel, St. John heard a voice emanating from the golden altar. The guardian angel identified this voice as that of the Lord, and it commands the angel with the trumpet to unleash the 4 angels bound at the Euphrates. These avenging figures emerge from the river with weapons, ready to carry
So there's going to be angels coming out of the river, y'all.
out their mission, which is to kill a third of humanity. The Bible also observes the dryness of the riverbed, leaving many to wonder whether all these have started to unfold. The beings were described as demons, fallen angels confined and bound in eternal darkness. That is not all. In sharp contrast to these demons, the angels of God roam freely, although many angels of darkness are left roaming. Ephesians 6:12 reminds us that we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against the principalities, against the powers, against the world rulers of this.
Hold on, we gotta get Kenneth Copeland to say that. Let me see if I can find him saying that, because he says it best. Wrestle. There we go. Does it just have that as a short? Yeah, we're gonna watch.
Isn't it true that you want to fly?
Because this is
A commercial so that you can fly in luxury. How much money did you pay for Tyler Perry's Gulfstream jet, for example?
Well, for example, that's really none of your business, but...
Isn't it the business of your donors?
Listen, I paid. The airplane that we have that I bought from Tyler Perry, and I didn't pay anywhere. And Tyler's one of the greatest guys. He made that airplane so cheap for me, I couldn't help but buy it. I love your eyes.
Again, getting back to the comment, you said that you don't like to fly commercial because you don't want to get into a tube with a bunch of demons. Do you really believe that human beings are demons?
No, I do not. And don't you ever say I did. We wrestle not with flesh and blood, but principalities and powers.
Isn't it true that you want to fly commercial so that you can...
Sorry, I just had to play that. Anytime I see this quote from the Bible, I have to play that now.
Darkness, against the spiritual hosts of wickedness in the heavenly places. It is also important to note that the Euphrates region, where these 4 angels are bound, has a significant connection to the fall of man's sin. Some scholars believe that the
yeah, Copeland, he shapeshifts, right? And rah! He's suddenly very scary. Like, he can be, like, his face shifts to this creepy, smiling, kind of clownish face to, like, he would have been excellent to play, like, Pennywise, right?
Garden of Eden is nearby this river, and some believe the first murder occurred in its fertile plains. Genesis 4:8. The first recorded war erupted there, Genesis 14. And Nimrod's kingdom, known for...
No. There were wars. We have records of wars from way before anything in the Bible. We have, like, the remains of wars. We have battlefields of... We have a lot of pre-biblical battlefields. We have a lot of... I think we actually have, like, some Paleolithic battlefields. We have some like from the Pleistocene, way back before the Bible, like thousands of years before the Bible, of warring groups of people being massacred with arrow holes in their bodies, or arrows stuck in their bodies and buried in mass graves. We have that. We have records of that.
For its Babylonian idolatry, rose in the same area, Genesis 10. Zechariah 5 and Revelation 18.
Why is Babylonian belief systems, why are they, what do you say?
In the same area, Genesis 10. Known for its Babylonian idolatry, rose in the same area, Genesis 10.
Because a different religion is idolatry, I guess.
Zechariah 5 and Revelation 18 depict that future judgment awaits this region. Although interpretations of these facts are diverse, some people see the 4 bound angels as symbolic forces representing spiritual upheaval or destructive powers unleashed during the end times, acting as instruments of God's wrath. Others view them as fallen angels or demonic entities tied to the Euphrates region and gradually released to wreak havoc and chaos by reducing water availability. Others believe the four angels are historical figures or powers, like military leaders or nations from the Euphrates region. This connects.
They were probably represented the nations around Israel at the time, I believe, is the idea. With the four nations that are tied to the Euphrates Valley around Israel. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not a biblical scholar, but
them to specific geopolitical events or conflicts. According to this view, God planned significant destruction for the Roman Empire, which persecuted the early church. He intentionally delayed this destruction to ensure the protection of his people. But even after the devastation caused by the release of the angels, Revelation 9 tells us the wicked still refuse to learn or change. If the four angels are indeed bound beneath.
And Rome isn't even around anymore, so I guess the Roman Empire held the nation of Israel hostage, so God couldn't do anything. That's crazy that you can hold a nation hostage and get God and bend God to your will. Like, wow. Are we doing that now? Are we holding Israel hostage?
Beneath the surface of the Euphrates.
Oh yeah, they're going to show Zelensky. They're going to be all kinds of weird. Yeah, which is super weird because Ukraine isn't even close to the Euphrates Valley, is it?
It is only a matter of time before they are fully unleashed on humanity. Imagine a land bounded by the mighty Tigris, Euphrates, and Jordan rivers. This ancient oasis, known as the Fertile Crescent, was not just the largest in the Middle Eastern region, it is widely accepted as the cradle of civilization. Scientists
of Western civilization. Yeah? And we got Mesoamerica on the other side of the Atlantic.
Recently discovered evidence that life once thrived under the water of the Euphrates. It was here, along the banks of the Euphrates, that the Sumerian civilization was born. According to Amanda Onion of the History Channel, the Sumerians built a great civilization in the shadow of the Tigris and Euphrates around 3800 BC. The city was called Mesopotamia. Other city-states like Eridu, Nippur, Lagash, Kish, Ur, and the Grand Uruk were marvels of their time. At its peak, Uruk boasted a population of between 40,000 and 88,000, making it one of the most populated cities in the ancient world. Yeah. The Sumerians laid the foundation for the advancements that shaped the...
And we supported all of these societies and all these cities and cultures along these rivers for thousands of years, and now we're kind of reaping the consequences of that. We didn't... yeah, supporting that big of an economy is going to be difficult. So it makes sense, but that they're going to have to really strip the resources from the land to sustain themselves. And learning how to do crop rotation for 88,000 people is pretty difficult. I'm doing it in a pinch. And we have civilizations just as old on the Nile and Yangtze and Ganges River. Yep.
The course of humanity. For instance, with their cuneiform script, they invented writing and carving knowledge onto clay tablets. They also designed complex irrigation systems, leveraging the rivers to cultivate abundant crops. They also adopted the...
And also, just the Minoans too. We had... they were doing stuff at this time as well.
First codified legal system, called the Code of Hammurabi, laying the groundwork for justice and order. Sadly, by 1940 BC, the Elamites had ravaged and looted the Sumerian city-states. The Babylonians unified Mesopotamia and ended Sumerian independence. By 1700 BC, the identity of the Sumerians had gradually crumbled. Yet the Euphrates River holds secrets that we have yet to see. So far, archaeologists have found evidence of their pioneering efforts in writing, astronomy, mathematics, geometry, and even medicine.
We would have loved to see better aquaculture from them, though, right? With better maintenance of their waterways.
Remarkably, we still rely on their ingenious multiplication tables, area and circumference calculations, and surgical techniques like craniotomy. Beyond peaceful scientific pursuits, the Sumerians also excelled in the art of war. That was not...
I think there was according to Amanda Onion, I think that was a man to onion.
Not all. Their arsenal included formidable spears, bronze helmets, and sturdy shields woven from leather or wicker, including combat chariots and carts. It is also important to note that the biblically promised land is around this river. Canaan has been described as a land where mountains meet valleys and ancient rivers carve their paths. Scholars have observed a profound relationship between geography and religion in this region. It is a land where faith was tested.
Because most of the religious texts are also property rights and laws and everything like that. So, yeah, it's going to tell you how the land is divided up between the sons of the sons of Noah is how I believe the Israelites did it, right? Just things like that.
And refined when God told Abraham to leave his father's house far on the other side of the Euphrates to Canaan land. Some believe its sacredness is reflected in the title bestowed upon it, the Promised Land. However, the path of righteousness is not always smooth. Over time, the inhabitants of Canaan, even the once devout people of Jerusalem, strayed from their spiritual obligations. Greed and wickedness took root, displacing the purity that...
Ooh, did you just... So we got greedy Jew imagery. Weird. From an evangelical.
once defined their lives. Prophets like Jeremiah were chosen by God as voices crying out against the rising tide of iniquity and warning of impending consequences if the hearts of the Israelites remained unrepentant. Apart from Canaan land, Great Babylon is another important kingdom that survived around the Euphrates. Babylon stood tall across the vast Mesopotamian plains, evidence of the power of human imagination and ambition.
So it's funny, but like God got so mad about the Tower of Babel because like, oh, this building's too tall, and now we got like even in the Middle East they got buildings that are like orders of magnitude bigger than anything that was built in the ancient world, and we got like stuff in space now. Why is God not mad anymore? God is a super good realtor. He sure knows how to pick lands that's not, already occupied. Yeah, by other groups of because the Israelites, they were Canaanite people as well. They were all part of the same people group. They're just like, those other Canaanites, they're in our that's the land God gave to us, not to them. We can go kill them and take it.
Babylon was planted by the...
Yeah, I mean, it's subtle, Ring. Gotta love the unique brand of evangelical anti-Semitism. Yeah, it's like the people of Israel became greedy, and it shows someone stuffing dollar bills into their purse. It's... Yeah.
Mighty Euphrates, with the city's walls built to impregnable standards. The rulers of the city are described as confident, yet even empires seemingly built to last are not immune to the passage of time and the changing hands of fortune. The prophet Jeremiah's prophecies extended beyond Canaan's borders, reaching the ears of the Babylonian elite. He spoke of a day when the seemingly invincible city would fall, its defenses would be breached, and its streets would cry and wail in defeat.
What does this have to do with the water shortage? Can you get to the water shortage, please?
His warnings were usually met with scorn. You wouldn't believe what happened next. Not only did Babylon fall, but the great Euphrates by which the city thrived is drying off today. Nothing lasts forever.
So wait, this is the continuation of the curse on Babylon for enslaving the Hebrew people? Is that the direction we're going? Lake Gontan's water level is drastically limiting how many ships can pass through the Panama Canal right now. Yeah, it's a global issue, definitely. So much nonsense.
Historians have always been fascinated by the ingenuity of all major civilizations and kingdoms that lived by the Euphrates. For instance, King Cyrus of Persia was driven by strategic thinking and designed an unprecedented engineering feat. He diverted the flow of the Euphrates River, transforming the once formidable watery barrier into a dry path that his army rode to conquest. Under the cloak of a festive night, the Persians infiltrated the great city, claiming victory without a single bloodshed. King Belshazzar was captured and executed, and the city would remain buried until the early 19th century. Babylon, the seemingly impregnable fortress, crumbled.
So, so the Persians conquering Babylon, is that where we are now? I'm kind of lost on the narrative here.
This once again shows the impermanence of powerful empires. Centuries later, the once bustling city lay abandoned, swallowed by the sands of time.
I mean, that is pretty brilliant to block the river so you can just walk across if the river is what's allowing them to, as long as it wasn't like mud on the bottom.
Its ruins are silent witnesses to a forgotten era and a manifestation of the prophecies of the prophet Jeremiah. The Euphrates now mirrors the downfall of all the major cities and civilizations built around it. Although modern archaeology has breathed new life into the story of Babylon and the Euphrates, as layers of sand are peeled away, past secrets come to light.
And it's just super cool, but doesn't mean that the drought is caused by biblical prophecy.
Underwater villages emerge from the riverbed, and the more they dig, the more questions they find than answers. For instance, some have argued that we may not understand the historical topography of the Euphrates River. Questions remain. Is the current level of the Euphrates its true state, or is it slowly returning to its original course, a silent testament to the cyclical nature of time? What do you think?
It's caused by climate change. No, it's caused by climate change. Shop smart, shop smart. Did I get a Army of Darkness reference?
Perhaps the Euphrates is not declining like we are made to believe. Perhaps it is reverting to its historical status. We can never absolutely...
What do you mean reverting to its historical status? They used to have lush forests along the banks all the way down. Miles on either side. That's why we settled it. It was lush and things would grow there. It wasn't a desert. It's a desert now.
Absolutely tell. The simple truth is that the mysteries surrounding the Euphrates and its connection to ancient civilizations and prophecies continue to intrigue scholars and explorers alike. Is Euphrates linked to the second coming of Christ? On the continual dwindling of the Euphrates River,
Christ is about 2,000 years late for his appointment, so I don't think he's coming. I don't think he wants the job. I think he's like, yeah, thank you for the free trial of living with humans. I'm done. Thank you. And he left. He left.
it is impossible to stay on the fence. As noted earlier, some view it as a natural cycle linked to climate change and environmental...
It's not some. That's who, the experts. That's the experts. That's the people who study this for a living.
...concerns, while others see it as a prophetic echo of the end of the world and the second coming of Christ.
What was with the car accident? That's so weird.
Let us recall that the river marked the boundaries of the Promised Land, the land God called Abraham to claim thousands of years ago. It witnessed the rise and fall of empires and civilizations. Prophets proclaimed it, and many pilgrims have tread its banks. The current decline of the river begs the question, are we in the twilight of the return of Christ? Let us recall the words of Christ. Jesus warned of signs in the heavens and on the earth. That would mark his second coming. But speculating in this regard is...
This is not natural stuff happening, though. These aren't signs of the apocalypse. This is anthropocentric climate change. We're causing this with industrialization. It has nothing to do with the Bible. Just stop. We need to worry about carbon, and when it comes to the water cycle, we need to worry about getting water to these people in these poor nations instead of saying, oh no, but just Jesus is coming back, don't worry about it. Your kids are gonna starve here, but you know what? Jesus will be around any second.
Is difficult. Remember that Jesus also said no one knows the hour, and it will come like a thief in the night. So we might keep living each day with anxious presumptions. The dwindling of the Euphrates, whether a natural environmental phenomenon or a matter of spiritual significance, should not be anxiety within us, but courage. It is a
No, we should have anxiety about this and be working to fix this, because no, we can't be like, oh, you know, we don't, it's just the Bible says this is going to happen. There's nothing we can do about it, instead of doing something about it.
Reminder that each decision and choice will finally be subjected to the judgment of Christ someday. Let us then move forward, undeterred by shadows, knowing that our big...
He's going to be subject to my judgment about like, hey, you know, these rivers are drying up and stuff. You got magic powers. Why don't you fix this?
Big and small efforts are meaningful beyond these fleeting days. Whether the Euphrates holds secrets of the Garden of Eden and the impending rapture of the saints, one thing remains clear. Faith is our anchor, not the ebb and flow of rivers. In this uncertain time, let it guide us, steady and robust, as we await the day, whenever it may dawn. Does your instinct follow the scientific explanation of climate change and sustainability? Or do you believe in the deeper revelations of the scriptures?
Why is that the deeper revelations?
Drop your opinion in the comments section.
Oh, for Pete's sakes. Yeah, so that was, again, their channel is called Nature Discoveries, and it has a picture of the earth and everything. But if you actually go in and look, it's not about nature at all. It's about biblical stuff. So, don't be fooled. There's angels on the battlefield in Israel. Remember that. There is underwater volcano suddenly cracking open in the west coast, it looks like. Pope Francis just revealed the Antichrist has arrived. Supernova explosion will take over the night sky. Oh, wow. Satan is coming. So, yeah, this to give you an idea what kind of channel we're dealing with here. And this is the kind of shit that I like to shed light on. So, I hope you really enjoyed this this little dive. I get to cussing when people are ignoring things like climate change for biblical prophecy. It annoys me. It makes me mad. I don't like for people to have a get out of jail free card to say, you know what, I think this is biblical, so I'm not gonna do anything to change it. I think this is what's supposed to happen because the Bible tells me so. So I'm not gonna do anything to fix these ecology problems, these agricultural issues. I'm not gonna do anything to fix the climate. Not gonna do anything to reduce the use of fossil fuels, because this was what Jesus put those here for us to use. And if we were, these are signs that he's coming back. It's just gross excuses. It's just excuses. Anyway, yeah. So what do you think? Same question posed to my audience. Do you believe in an anthropocentric climate change causing these issues, or do you think that this is end time prophecy? Tell me in the comments down below. Please remember to be kind, take care, and we will see you next time. All right. Don't go again. Again, I gotta say, don't go, because we are still looking at more show to come. Okay, so there's still more laid out before us. And I will see you guys over in HiveScience. Hello, hello, my beauties and bees. Welcome to latest installment of Strange Science here, where we look at some different factors of the universe that maybe turn out a little bit unexpectedly. And this is one for the books. Honestly, the title of this article, it just popped in yesterday. So yeah, the title of this article made me laugh, so I had to read it. So here we go. Just some good old fun times here. Turns out that male dominance in primate groups is not the default after all. Another blow to the patriarchy. This was by Eleanor Higgs. This just came out. It was published 9 hours ago, right? Edited by Holly Large. We got some marmosets. The common marmoset, Calothrix jacus, is found to have co-dominant society. It has long been presumed that primate societies were predominantly run by males, with the exception of lemur societies, which was thought to be an outlier. Most primates, including gorillas, chimps, and monkeys, were believed to be largely male-dominated. Now, a literature review of 79 primate species is challenging that long-held assumption, suggesting that things are a lot more equal than they seem. Research at the University of Texas has suggested that although male power dynamics are more common, female-biased power structures, or even social equality between males and females of a primate social group, can be found in every major living primate clade and likely even exist throughout their evolution. In the past, primatologists have often focused on the roles of males and male power in primate societies, said Rebecca Lewis, a professor of anthropology and co-author of the paper, in a statement. What has sometimes been overlooked is the important role of female power in primate society. The team divided the 79 primate species into groups based on whether they were female dominant, male dominant, or co-dominant, and which factors were common across these groups. For instance, the team found that female dominance was more likely to be the case in social groups where the size difference between males and females was smaller. The study also took into account the challenges with categorizing species in this way, and the authors write in the paper that the female and co-dominant groups exhibit very different intersexual social relationships than species labeled as male dominant. Overall, the team found that 58% of the species that they looked at did exhibit male bias power in the social groups. However, in Old World monkeys and apes, the team found multiple examples of species that do not have a male power style social dynamic. New World monkeys had the most variable power structure, with 40% of the species either co or female dominant, while lemur society has been known to be female led. Other small primate species such as gibbons and marmosets are also likely to show female or co-dominant power structures. The team found that male bias power was associated not only with males being larger than females, but also when there were more females within a group. Our work suggests that more economic forms of power might really come to the forefront in primate species in which males and females are similar in size, in which females are therefore less readily coerced by males, continued Lewis. Looking not just at modern primates, but back into the fossil records, the researchers also think that the assumption that most primate groups were male-dominated through evolutionary time is not accurate. They suggest that the last common ancestor of primates did not necessarily live in a male-dominated society. but that the last common ancestors of monkeys, apes, and humans most likely did. Primates have been thought to mainly be male dominant, which would suggest that male dominance was present in primates from early in their evolutionary history, said Chris Kirk, a professor of anthropology at UT and co-author. However, we show that this assumption of ancestral male bias power in primates isn't necessarily supported by the data. Yeah, interesting article. We'll go pop over and look at the paper real quick. I don't look at the statements. Is this the paper? Is this the paper? No, that's different science article. Here, I think this one's it. Oh, this is just another write-up from UT News. Here, is this what we're looking for? Yeah, there we go. Here we go. Simple summary. Social inequality is pervasive in primates, with male bias power often assumed as a default condition. We test this assumption with a broad data set and explore factors that might make some types of intersexual power more likely to evolve, such as males being larger than females and skewed sex ratios. We hypothesize that intersexual power can arise due to sex differences in fighting ability, as well as economic demand for mating opportunities. We found that even though societies with power bias towards males are most common in primates, some lemurs, monkeys, and apes exhibit societies where without male bias power. Male bias power is associated with males being larger than females and more females in the social group. High supply, low demand for females, whereas non-male bias power was associated with low supply, high demand for mating opportunities with females. The last common ancestor of primates did not necessarily exhibit male bias power, but the last common ancestor of monkeys, apes, and humans probably did. That's what we just read in that article. No male power bias probably evolved independently multiple times in primates. However, multiple traits favor male bias power, and fewer paths lead to societies with female bias power or intersexual equality. Yeah. All right. That's a super interesting article. We do have one more segment for you. So don't go anywhere. I'll see you right after. I think it's... Did I set this up? I did not. Okay, hold on. Hello, hello, and thank you for joining me again for another little episode of Paleo Peak. Actually, got my Breeze Bestiary background up, but yeah, we're doing Paleo Peak, which this background works for that too, because a lot of what you see back there is paleo art. So I put that together with AI, but there are some real pictures stuck in there of real paleo art and cryptid art. So yeah. Anyway, thank you for joining me today. I am going to be talking about one of my favorite fossils. It's not the news or anything. I just been thinking about her a lot, or him a lot. So, I wanted to share it with you guys because I hadn't got a chance to yet. So check this out. This is Blue Babe. Was discovered in the 80s, but let me read. This is a write-up from, this goes to show you how, well, there was some news, and we're going to talk about it from back in 2022, but we'll talk about that in just a minute. I want to talk about this first, though, just to describe Blue Babe, because it's one of my favorites. It has been 30 years since the UA Museum of the North unveiled a startling display in the Gallery of Alaska. Blue Babe, a 36,000-year-old mummified Alaskan steppe bison, has been preserved in the interior permafrost since the Ice Age. Gold miners discovered the specimen in 1979 and donated it to the museum. Collagen from the animal's well-preserved skin was originally dated to 36,000 years ago in the 1980s, but that number will soon be much more precise understanding of this celebrated specimen. The UAMN, Earth Sciences and Archaeology Department are collaborating with the Center for Applied Isotope Study at the University of Georgia to radiocarbon date samples from Blue Babe. CAIS is analyzing hide, hair, and bone collagen from those samples with the most recent state-of-the-art techniques. Using an accelerated mass spectrometer, an AMS, radiocarbon dating provides more precise and potentially older age estimates than earlier methods in use during the 1980s. The animal gets its name from the mineral vivianite that forms on the skin when the body reacts with the minerals in the silt during its long burial. The nickname is also a tongue-in-cheek reference to Paul Bunyan's giant ox, giant blue ox, which Babe the Big Blue Ox. I think that's part of the reason why I love this find so much, is because the Paul Bunyan sort of thing. Now, I like to re-envision Paul Bunyan's Big Blue Ox as like a kaiju, though. Like the American kaiju, the Alaskan or Canadian kaiju, maybe. I think Paul Bunyan was born in Maine, wasn't he? According to folklore stuff. The gold miners were using a hydraulic hose to melt the frozen muck when they uncovered the bison's skull. They immediately contacted the university, where scientists were able to piece together the story of what happened to Blue Babe, thanks to the clues exposed along with the melting permafrost. The claw marks on the rear of the carcass and tooth punctures in the skin indicate the bison was killed by an Ice Age American lion. The bison appears to have died during the fall or winter when it was relatively cold. The carcass probably rapidly cooled and soon froze, which made it difficult for scavengers to eat. Several years after the bison was discovered, a taxidermist from Finland arrived in Fairbanks to restore the specimen for exhibit. After treating and tanning the skin, he constructed a foundation to mount it on. The skull and bones have been preserved as part of the museum's Earth and Science collection. Even 30 years later, the bison is a rare specimen. Blue Babe is the only known display in the world of a Pleistocene bison recovered from the permafrost. The museum recently received an additional steppe bison specimen known as Bison Bob. It was discovered in the summer of 2012 in the thawing banks of the Northern River. Earth Science curator Pat Druckenmiller says it is probably the most complete specimen of an Ice Age mammal ever found in Alaska. It is only missing a single shoulder blade. So I want to know, I thought this was the article about that would tell us what the new age was. Let's see. I think they must have stuck with the 36,000 years, because it still says that on their official website. It was a 50,000-year-old bison found. Researchers believe it's more than 50. Okay, so this is from NPR. Here we go. Yeah, here we go. So it's the same article I had open here. I was just getting ahead of myself. Good grief. Because I like NPR. NPR is a good source, I think. Well, that was, the findings were pending. That was in 2014, though. Paul Bunyan versus Gojira. Yeah, well, I just you put Babe, the big blue ox, against Godzilla, and you could put Paul Bunyan against King Kong. Yeah, there you go. Let's see here. The Ice Age bison was discovered, then soon eaten once the foul taste was smothered. Okay. So yeah, gold miners discovered the mummified steppe bison, now called Blue Babe. Researchers believe it's more than 55,000 years old. Unfortunately, radiocarbon dating tools can't measure any further back than that. So yeah, I went from 36 to 55,000 after that testing. There we go. In 1979, researchers unearthed the mummified body of a 55,000-year-old steppe bison in the Alaskan tundra. Shortly after, they sliced off a piece of its neck to eat. Here's the news story told in rhyme. What? Okay, here we go. We're going to rhyme it. Let me take a drink. La, 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 la. Get my voice in tune for it. This is not a traditional story, not so many names or dates, so don't worry. It's also not incredibly timely, but it's also about an Ice Age steppe bison and a man who thought process defy me. Let's start with the creature lived more than 55,000 years ago, was brought to its knees by a lion ancestor's foe. Down went the bison on the permafrost ground, which kept him from being eaten or found. Neither predator nor man disturbed the behemoth mass as it remained encased in a protective frozen glass. Leaping forward to 1979, a team of explorers ventured out to mine. Gold is what they are on the lookout for. On the spot where the bison hit the floor, with a hydraulic mining hose, they melted away some frozen sludge till someone said, "Whoa, stop, hey." They reported the finding to the University of Alaska Fairbanks officials. Dale Guthrie led an excavation limiting interstatals. I don't know how you say that, statitials. I ruining the rhyme. Sorry, whoever took the time to write this. The skeleton skin, the muscle, all near impeccable condition. Guthrie named it Blue Babe, then sliced off a piece for culinary mission. You know what we can do? He asked. Host a dinner party and cook the meat. I'll be tasked. The Blue Babe neck steak served 8 with veggies and spice and lots of booze they ate. Years later, writing about the taste, Guthrie said when thawed, one could mistake the aroma for beef, not unpleasantly earthy, but once in the mouth, his wife, Mary Lee Girthy, told podcaster Gimlet it was worse than beef jerky. Still, it was a great party, she fondly remembered, a dream symbolized of a meal they endured. It was a feast by all counts, a true celebration, an imagining of human experience on Earth, she said with elation. So yeah, that's cute. Yeah, they actually ate some of it. Apparently it wasn't very good though, but they wrote a poem about it. But it's like, this is one of my favorite Pleistocene fossils. Just lots of things about it are so cool and unique. The fact that it was attacked by an American lion, which, you know, right now the American lion is like kind of in flux. Is it really a lion? Even we don't even know anymore. Interstitials. Thank you, Aunt Jer. You're the bomb. But you all weren't expecting a poetry slam reading, were ya? Her last name rhymes with jerky. Oh, it's a super cool fossil find, though, right? I'm not wrong. Am I wrong that this guy's awesome? Such a cool cool creature. Can I look at this picture? That's the one. That's the best picture of it I've seen. Let's see. Let's find a good picture. Blue Babe Bison. But I didn't realize I typed New Age like it's like the New Age movement. There we go. Let's get the image. Where's the blue image? Ooh, here's a recreation. Oh, I made some. I should show you those. Let me see. Where is it? Cryptid. Is it a cryptid? Yeah. Yeah. Made mine blue though. Here we go. Let me see. How can I share this? I'll figure it out. Give me just a second. I know I have a full screen share on here somewhere. You know what? What if I put them in here? Just a second. Let me do it this way. You get to look at me and Stephanie fighting a giant squid for a minute. Check us out. We're on our pirate ship fighting a giant squid, which has nothing to do with the fossil that we're talking about, but I do want to show you guys because it's cute. But here we go. Here's how we'll do it. Where you at, babe? There you are. Cryptid creations. Nope, more. Or less. No, I'll be able to capture all of them. Darn it. Stop being difficult. Oh my god, I stretched it all the way out there and it still didn't capture all of them. Christ on a stick. There we go. Here we go. Good grief. All right, so that's one. I know the animal wasn't actually blue in life. I just I like the imagery. Get the great giant horns. There we go. I don't know why these ones are wrapped in leather or something, but this one's probably my favorite. The bison with the lion. And then we get back into those. Okay. Yeah, but that's should have had that ready, but yeah, other people do cool paleo art of Blue Babe too. This one's on Reddit. How they believe that the animal was dragged down. Pretty cool stuff. Here's some different size comparisons of these different species of bison. Oh, those are Russian. Here's the American. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? They were so huge. Absolutely massive. Like rhinoceros sized, right? Bigger than, like, think of like absolutely huge animals. People underestimate, like, oh yeah, bison, whatever. Because they get overshadowed by mammoths and overshadowed by rhinos and other big animal mastodons and things like that. But the bison of the Pleistocene were huge. They were absolutely as big. They were every bit as big as those rhinoceroses or rhinoceroses. Yeah. Anyway, but here's some good pictures of our Blue Babe. Pretty cool. Ginormous. I'm not sure which specimen this is. No, that's Blue Babe too. Looks so much smaller there. You know, but you get a bit of their family tree here. So let's see. With boss being cattle, bison evolution goes to boss bonasus, which is what we have today, and bison. Bison antiquus and bison priscus, I believe, are both extinct. But there's more unique species. Bos taurus cattle, Bos taurus indicus, and Bos taurus cows, and Indian cattle. I can't remember the proper name for them right now, but yeah. Anyway, so that's that. Okay. Well, thank you for sticking around.
The humans about to...
Dang. Thank you for sticking around with me. Appreciate everybody hanging out and wanting to learn about this fossil with me. One of my favorite, again, one of my absolute favorites. So thanks for sticking around for that. I will I will tell you to be kind and take care, and we'll see you next time.